5-year goals are an absolute scam, aren't they? So big business will leave you to believe that you need big plans and goals so that you can meet your targets and get those crispy bonuses. But that just doesn't work in the real world, does it? So I built a business with my brothers from the ground up, from the garage all the way to 180 mil exit. And we saw how these things play out. And I'm going to show you how we thought about goals in this video. Let's go. On the early days, we wanted to focus on the key things. And I think building a business, and this is the same for everyone, it's customers first. I think with that strategy, you can't actually go wrong, realistically. I think if you look at a lot of big businesses, this is how they actually grew in the beginning. The 5-year goals kind of crept in later on, I think, once people started to figure out ways they could make these things repeatable. And unfortunately, it's always about doing the unscalable, isn't it? So when we would have a meeting, so we would send out old Franco, he would go out for a meeting. He would come back and he would come and report to us, right? I just recently saw a tweet on this as well. One of the guys was saying, every time you have a conversation with a customer, record it, get AI to go through, find the biggest pain points, and then pass it back to engineering. This is basically the 2013 version of that. We didn't have all that fancy stuff and we weren't recording every meeting because we were actually going on site. But I think realistically, this is how you move really fast. So that moving straight into that, I think we want to be talking about being agile. Now, what does that actually mean, right? You see a lot of people using these terminology in big business. It's like you've got all these little framework, your 2-week sprint and all that kind of nonsense. But realistically, a lot of dancing around to achieve something that you can actually just do quite simply in business. So what we want to do is have a sense of direction, but we want to be adaptable. I think this is the difference between being agile and actually just being a big business that has goals but never hits them, right? Pointing in the right direction, right? So we want to be pointing and we're heading this way. So for us, it was like be in front. That's not how you do in front. There's a space there. In front of every transaction in Australia. That's kind of what our thing was like. We wanted to be used. Our platform wanted to be used and facilitate almost every single transaction in Australia, which was about 700,000. Spoiler, when we sold our thing, I think we were at about 53% when we exited. But that was our goal. That was like where we were heading, right? Everything was always about that. What we're doing now, give us that. So real agility is reactivity. It's being able to be reactive. It's like you get something in from a customer, you then go and do it quickly. You don't say, sorry, it doesn't fit into my plan that I've already built, my 5-year plan. It doesn't fit in there. Sorry, can't do that. Okay? Because you know what? In the end of the day, your plan might be wrong. So what we want here is action over planning, incremental improvement over chasing perfect execution. So this is where we want to be constantly emphasizing action over extensive planning. This is what Rework, the guys from Rework who wrote that book, that run Basecamp, also think of this, the creator of Ruby on Rails, which is this software framework, but it's about actually doing the thing rather than just talking about the thing. And this is where planning gets really I'm not a big planner. I just come and do the thing that needs to be done. So inspiration hits at random times. And if you can't action it and do it, you're going to miss out. This is what a very rigid 5-year plan will prevent you from doing. So what we want to do is we want to challenge ourselves. We want to actually try and do something in 2 weeks. And what that does is actually makes the whole thing start setting constraints. You be tighter. You say, okay, well, I'm going to have to drop this thing, drop this thing, drop this thing. And I'm left with this core thing. What is the core piece of work that I can do in my business that's going to give me the biggest return, right? So we want the best return we can here for the smallest amount of work. Then what we do is we go and we iterate on it. We improve it. We improve it constantly with customer feedback. It's super key. So if it's in your business, this is not a software concept. I think software teams do it really well, but I think we need to do this in business as well. It's like looking at what we're delivering, what service are we doing, what can we do better and do it better next time. And in corporate, they plan a long time, right? Like I saw this, they would do year planning roadmap, you're going to do this. And then in 12 months time, the funniest thing was that pretty much nothing got done. So all you had was people yapping. This is a yap, just yapping, having meetings, getting nothing done. They planned and they just never released anything. So this is very similar to, again, content, right? People talk about content. You can plan for a year, the perfect video. You're going to do the perfect video. It's going to get 1 million views. 1 million views, you're going to crush it. Or we can be releasing one a day. And our plan is to just improve. That is the roadmap. That is the goal. You just keep doing this. Sheer volume is going to do, and it's going to outperform the perfect plan because you're not even going to be able to know. And that leads me straight into my point number 3. You cannot predict the future. No one can know for certain what things will look like in a year, even less so in 5. How do you tell me what's 5? Think about 5 years ago, right? Did we even talk about AI? Realistically, there was little bits in the wind here and there, but it was not mainstream. We could not predict it. It just came out of nowhere. Now, if you had all these features and all these things in your business, AI comes along and just all of those are redundant. And you've just wasted all that time thinking, planning about it, reporting it to your stakeholders, all that nonsense. Realistically, let's work on smaller things. Let's do the work. Let's just do the work and just do what's the smallest piece and then test it and then come around and evaluate again. And do it again. That's what we want to do. And how fast can you get that thing spinning? Because the faster you can do iterations, the better your product and your service is going to become. Overall, you're just going to win. It's just going to be friggin' dominate. That's what you're going to do. You're going to dominate everyone. I love that word. Now, I'm going to give you an example of this. So when we started Clipflow, I was making YouTube videos and we thought this is going to be it was literally called content management for YouTubers. Now, if we'd planned out our roadmap and our 5-year plan, we'd be cooked. Because we started talking to customers and they were like, well, how do I do Instagram, right? How do I do Insta? How do I do TikTok? And we were like, you don't. But like, if you're a business, which is where the customer that we actually ended up pivoting more to, because these were YouTubers with no money, no cash, that's a poor business model. We've got a 5-year plan built around something that does not work. We now move to businesses, but they want to publish to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, you name it. They want to do it. That's what they want to do. They want to be publishing to all those platforms. So our platform had to adapt to do that. And we could only do that because we were listening and being agile and implementing. And now what we're becoming is even like, well, how do we repurpose content? Because you're a business making lots of content. How do you repurpose? How do you make an Insta carousel? The whole product starts changing, right? And it's only because you're listening, you don't have this really rigid plan in there. And I think to end it all, right, the final take, this is my hot take here, is planning long-term in the future is an excuse to not take action. Because you're like, hey, it's not on the roadmap. Sorry. I don't have to do that thing. I don't have to listen to that customer because it's not on the roadmap. Well, guess what? Your business is probably not going to be on the roadmap in the near future either. What I want to hear from you guys, if you are still watching this video at the end, thank you very much. How do you think about 5-year goals? What do you think is the time period that you should really be planning for? How far in the future? I'm going to say straight up, I'm not really a planner. I kind of just know what we're trying to do, where we're trying to go. It's build a business that works. What does that mean? Market it. How do you do marketing? You do this and you just come in and you do the work. That's for me. I don't really plan. And yes, you could say that's some sort of planning, but it's not rigid. If something comes along, whereas we were working on ads, hey, we have to pivot for something else. That's fine. We just pivot real quick, move fast, and just go hard on that thing and collect data. We want data to inform our decisions, and we can only do that through volume. So don't spend the time thinking about and talking about things. Do the work, actually do them. Plan as little as possible. Set yourself a North Star and then just freaking sprint at that thing. But yeah, if you like this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel. We release a whole bunch of business tips and tricks and things that we learned when we built our one from 0 to 180 mil. It took us about 8 years. We learned a whole bunch of lessons and are very keen to share them with you, but we do need a little bit of dopamine now and then. So thanks for watching and we will catch you guys on the next one.